settings thing. I think it's, yeah, settings. Need to set horizontal or slight. Yeah, it's a start by saying all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, the one is to the apostles and those great most so well. Shalom to the brothers out there doing the work of truth. Shalom. Yes, out here again. Now, when we start Shalom. And yeah, just out here doing the same thing we always do, man. You know, it's been a chaotic week, especially over here in the UK. The UK has been hot. You had like the incident with what ended up with 3 little girls getting attacked, and then from when this happened, like a non-stop cascade of like social unrest, civil unrest. That's something that's not really strange over here. To be honest, over in Europe in general, it's not really strange to see social upheaval. That's something that's kind of standard. But then with after this incident, it's all been racial tensions. And then with it being racial tensions, that all ties into groups. So we know it's how this is going to go down. These racial tensions, or this social unrest, is basically leading towards what? Further, more draconian laws being instated. And then what? Ultimately, they're ending with the micro C here, the MOTB.
This is 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Yeah, it's basically a sign. What we're seeing is a sign of those times. And part of our job is to be what? Watchmen. To watch for those times. To be able to observe and see, okay, this lines up with prophecy. That's really what we're seeing. So we've had social unrest. But then it's what? It's part of the signs to let us know we're in that time. And that's something as well. Part of another aspect of it is financial. Another aspect as well is with military conflicts. And then for all these signs, we're seeing them come to pass. We're seeing we're in the midst, which lets us know what? That time's close.
This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear ye the word of my mouth and give them warning from me.
Yeah, we're those watchmen. A part of their duty is what? To give warning, to give heed, to let people know what's getting ready to happen. Because that's basically part of being a prophet. To be a prophet is to say before. That's the key aspect of what we're doing. That's why it's like you kind of talk to the average guy over here like, about what's happening. Everyone's kind of like, oh, how do you feel about all these things happening? How How do you feel? Don't you think it's a bit, it's a bit, ooh, they're a bit tense and on edge. That's why. They don't know what these things mean. They're thinking like, oh, could this be something greater? When it first happened, like over the weekend, it kind of seemed like it might just like cool off. But then it kept gaining steam. Even to the point of what, this weekend as well, people are like, oh, there's going to be events on in different parts of London, even down there, what is it, Trafalgar Square. There's meant to be like one protesters, one counter protesters, and who knows, it could turn to violence again. But that's kind of now on everyone's mind to where they're anxious. And then we'll kind of reason on it before we turn the cameras on. But people really want that peace, that same continuation of things as they are. That's the mindset they're in. That's why they don't like the prophets. Because the prophets, whenever they come, they always come to speak against kingdoms. And then speaking against kingdoms, the people there are like, yo, why are you trying to, why are you just fucking up the vibe?
Isaiah chapter 30 verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophet, prophesy not, unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Because that's kind of the core of the mindset. And that's not just for Jake, that applies to everyone within this system. Everyone that comes over here, the reason they're coming is because of all the possibilities it gives them in their life. They know they can come over. When you have people like, they come over first generation, they have kids, they try to set those kids up, they try and get them to get a good job, establish themselves, get a property, get some savings and build up a life. Because why? There's opportunities that are greater than places overseas. A lot of places people come from, they might, grind. Then the grinding they do for 20 years, people come over here and make that in a year. The Eastern Europeans as well. It's like now everyone's talking about the Muslims. That's what everyone's getting all riled up about. When you go back like 10, 15 years, they were talking about these Albanians, they were talking about these Romanians coming over. The Polish as well, setting up their building companies as well. They were upset about that. But now that's been forgotten. Even though it's the same thing. They came over, they made their money, and then they set themselves up back home. You talk to a lot of these Polish over here, they'll tell you that they're like, yeah, they work there, they grind, they live in slums, and they send all that money back home. Then they'll have a wife and a kid, and then they'll live like kings in Poland. They'll be set. They'll have like 2-3 properties, and they'll have their own business. They're good. But then that's why the people over here are getting upset as well, which creates all that chaos, which really the elites are using to bring forward further plans. I'll read this. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and the end of the world? Yeah, that's really what all these signs are. They're linking up to. People wondering, what's all this about? Why is this happening? It's because it's about the return of the Son of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. He's getting ready to make a return, and in that return, there's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of death and destruction, and hey, a lot of truth, man, is going to come out. It's where all the deceit that currently is commonplace in the world. That's all going to be uncovered for what it is. Verse 4, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, the anointed, and shall deceive many. And yeah, that's something that in this time now is plain as day. It's easily to be seen. You go behind, underneath every rock, there's a guy referring to themselves as Jesus Christ. The key one that we can go to is the so-called white image. That one based off Caesarea Borgia. That's the key one everyone goes to. You go to Thailand, they got that. You go to South Korea, they got that. You go to South America, they got that. In the depths of Africa, in a jungle, they're going to have that white boy up somewhere. That's one of the key images. And then you go to what is it? Job 9:24. It's clear white. The faces of the judges have been covered. And Yahushua is that key judge. That's a big part of how Esau's basically presented himself as that image of the Most High and his son. But what's it say? And ye shall hear, verse 6, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See, be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And yeah, as it says, wars and rumors of wars, but then what? The end is not yet. And that's the other aspect of it. These signs are basically letting us know it's in the midst, but there's more to come. And that's what most people can't really factor in. They're thinking about a return to peace or return to normalcy. They don't realize we're basically completely out. We're out of that part of the game. Now it's going into where it's going to be nothing but pure chaos. And that means that, you might get a lull. You might get, because, people might think, oh, up until like last week, they all seem hunky-dory. But the reality is, it's not just things happening where you might just go out and see. There's also things happening behind closed doors. There's laws being passed. There's agreements being made. Things are happening, but then it's something that over time, people only see the fullness of it later. And then you can go to like any of the CIA programs they did in like the 60s or 70s, and they'll be plain as day. These guys are doing all kind of madness in the background, but no one found out about it until like 20, 30 years later.
Psalm 64 and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection. I'm saying, like, you got these secret counsels, and to speak about that. They practice it, do things of that nature. What you, like, years ago, people were ignorant of that. Like, God first what they showed you on TV. Your vote actually matters. That was it. We're all working for a greater society, case in point, a greater Britain. That's not the case. You got higher up elites that are doing things on the left-hand side. And these people, they're speaking to Satan. They're conjuring spirits, they're doing sacrifices, all manner of new things, man. And they'll come on your TV, go in the house of the parliament, and put a suit on. Shake their beard and act dignified, and act like it's strong glory, but it's not. They got plans. So the scripture says, hide me in the secret counsel of the wicked, because they've been under the agenda. As Paul was saying, that's why the prophets are hated, man. Also by the elite, because we're exposing them. That's why the scripture says, expose the led, uncover, through the biblical prophecy, and they're wondering, well, how do we know this? You know what I'm saying? Because they've done so much to hide the shit that they're doing, but their program is being exposed by the spirit of Yahweh Shah. From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. When you check it, that's what this man does, man. Sin upon sin, repairing it, man. But you can't even be like mad at him because he was created for that.
That's his job, isn't it?
It's his job.
But I was going to say as well, it's like obviously he's not one of the elites. So a good example that put on the suit after doing some film is that Q
Oh, yeah.
Because now he's like the latest one that's been revealed, where he seemed like a prestigious, upstanding young man, or young, older gentleman, where it was most people were looking like, oh, this, he's there reading the news, looking like, wow, this is what a dignified, person this is. But then what? The reality comes out. This guy's doing grease behind closed doors. And that's the thing that, like, part of the veil being lifted off, part of the leg being made bare, like the brother said, is because all those truths are coming out. There was a period, you go back to like the 80s, you try and say, it's funny, Hollywood's a good example. You had people coming out from the inside, hip hop as well, Hollywood and hip hop, like where they were saying, oh, there was, hip hop, there was all this kind of criminal activities. There's a clip of, I can't remember which actress it is, but when she was talking about like Harvey Weinstein, then she said like, okay, I'm gonna get in trouble if I say this, but if Harvey Weinstein invites you up to a private party at his hotel, don't go. And then that was like years before. And then they've got basically, all the were still giving them all that honor. And that's the reality of how Esau's system flows. It seems honor on the surface level. It seems like, ooh, everything's shiny, glossy, upstanding. But then what's the reality?
Okay, it's the corporation, we're naming names of people, but it's the corporation that they're under and work for. They're in on it, man. Because now, I don't probably say the name of the corporation, but the case in point, Edwards, right? That corporation is now asking him to pay money back.
Yeah.
He's like, hold on a second, you knew man was on that. So like, you lot were funding it. These very non-criminal criminals, man, with their lewd acts.
What's his name? What was it? Jimmy Savile. Jimmy Savile. That only came out after he died. The guy dropped dead. Then suddenly he popped out, and it was like never in the line of witnesses and like videos and everything. So these men all knew, but then it was just like, okay, we're gonna throw a bomb out there. You're like, oh look, this guy's a monster. You know, he's dead now. But that's the reality. You then go to the whole thing. You go examine it. What's going on?
There's about at least 4 or 5 well-known people from that corporation over the years that's been exposed. Oh, on the side they were into X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
And that's,
Let's inquire.
But then that's, but that's the thing, it's all about presentation. It's all about, you know, how it appears on the top, on the front. I'll read this. Jeremiah 51 and 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord Jehovah's vengeance. He will render unto her the recompense. Babylon hath been a broken cup in the Lord Jehovah's hand. The people of the earth drunken. The nations are drunk with the wine. Therefore the nations the way everyone functions and conducts himself is underneath that system. And then it's funny as well, because you've had the demographics in like Japan, South Korea, China, getting hit by people not having kids. And it's something that the way Esau's system functions, the way it's been set up, essentially and they follow after, that ties into why there is you've had that decline. Where now it's at the level where it's like they're not even able to sustain themselves. They said Japan will be extinct by 2100 before around that long. There'll be no Japanese left, and then similar along the lines like South Korea as well. So I think they're just a bit higher, but still at the point where, you know, people ain't having kids. And then China's even more fucked because they got numbers. But then they had the one-child policy to where there was like way less women born in that generation than men. So it's all kinds of fuck. But then the reason why people look at how can we fix this? What's addressing it? It's wise. It's that wine. They follow it on for them. They've basically adopted all that feminism, all that LGBT, etc. They have accepted all those things and, you know, promoting and living by it. They've accepted the capitalist system as well. But then what's part of the destruction of that is that household. That core that family household. Otherwise, if people are thinking like, oh, you know, just to go and have kids, it's funny as well, because having children isn't even like it's real simple. Like whether you like it or not, a man or woman have sex, the youth's gonna provide that. So it's that's what they're thinking. They're thinking, how am I going to go on holiday now? I'm going on holiday 2-3 times a year. How am I going to go on holiday if I look at you? This is the confusion that's been brought in. And that's really been layered in at like every level to where it's, you know, these things seem simple. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And yeah, that's really what everyone's kind of looking for. They're all looking to, like, how can we, bring this, how can we sustain the system? How can we keep it going? Because that's a big part of what has everyone been wrapped with the system as well. It's like Rome, just like you have in ancient Rome. People were in the Roman system, they were loving life under it. They were enjoying all the goodies they could get, the lifestyle was provided. But then, it's, as with all kingdoms, every kingdom has a bound set. Every kingdom basically has its time where it's going to rise, then it'll reach apex, then it'll be full. Then the next kingdom comes up. And that's how the kings of men have ruled. And now we're at the end of the kingdoms of men. We basically have a kingdom that's been established underneath wickedness. And that's going to be the final kingdom before the kingdom of heaven. But then people are still looking for a way to be like, nah, but we can maintain it. Meanwhile, people don't even want to have kids. Everyone's depressed. You got 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds on social media depressed, talking about killing themselves. Like, what the fuck's going on?
And I think life is
No.
that life is starting out.
No.
You're at 12.
Yeah,
You're thinking about ending it.
yeah.
What's going on?
Like, you ain't even experienced or seen anything, but then you're already just like depressed.
Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Yeah, so, that's pretty much it, man. Like, kingdoms, nations that rule, they don't even get into rulership of their own back. It's the Lord that had them. And likewise, with their demise and fall, it's the Lord that takes them out. Because what kingdom wants to come out of power? Like, no kingdom in their right mind sets a date and say, we're going to pass the baton on to this other nation. Like, everyone wants to rule forever. But history has clearly shown us not every kingdom rules forever. Why? Because the Most High has a set time for each kingdom to rule, man. That's in Daniel with the statue and that, man. And right now the Lord is giving it onto the basis of man. These Edomites are battling for the second leg of the Roman Empire. But hey, man, kingdoms rising, kingdoms fall. And what we're beholding right now is Esau losing that grip of power. Second Ezra 6 and 9 tells us that, man. Second Ezra chapter 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. What? Willingly Esau is going to go. He's the end of the world because the Most High prophet decreed it to be so. He predestined it to be so. Therefore, he has his prophets on the earth prophesying before it actually happens. We're in the midst of this kingdom, but we're letting you know that according to your prophecy, you're going to be the end of the age. And what's next? That Jacob is the beginning of that followed.
That's the other part that hurts as well. You go to Revelation 11. These nations, they was glad. They rejoiced when Jacob was taken down. They made merry. So then being like, these guys are seeing like, wait, hold on, these guys were roused up. These guys were of no renown whatsoever. They were completely unremarkable. But now they've been roused up. That's something that strikes terror into the hearts of people. Why? That's what I'm really only for those at the top, those elites. Because they're actually aware of what Jake's capable of. Like, by and large, most people kind of in the world are just looking like, these guys are kind of just like, it's just blacks. But then these guys actually know, hey, with those Israelites, they get into, hey, once their power's with them, there ain't no means to stop them.
Yeah, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 11. Start from verse 7. Start from verse 6. It says, these have power to shut up to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and of power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Yeah, so with Jake, the part of the reason, and again goes into them the life of the prophets. When the prophets are sent out, then they can all the things they prophesy, that those things are going to come to pass. People don't like hearing like, yo, you're going into slavery. That's something Esau now don't like hearing that. This guy already knows what he's done during the transatlantic slave trade, and he's some form of recompense for it. That's why he's trying to give you some money, we'll set you some land or whatever. But then when he's getting told he's going to go into slavery, you don't want to hear it. So it's the same thing with Jake. Jake didn't want to hear that those places are going to get taken out of power. But then what? That once they were raised up, it goes back to Genesis. The blessing Esau was given. That's the means by which he could take it from. Then he used it, and then what? Once he came back in power, that set the leg of the Roman Empire, then what?
Says, verse 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Yeah, where also our Lord was crucified. That image of Yahushua, that's been completely desolated. That white image of Christ, that's been established. It's ironic as well. So any form of media now, when they're kind of doing any presentation of who the world calls Jesus Christ, it's going to be that same white image that was established. And like this will be something you could be watching, something made in Japan, something made in South America, something made in Africa. You're going to have that same image. A good example, even when they do life bread, wear the same outfit that they always have on that season. And then it's like even him not having a beard, I was like, you know what, they're based on that white image. It's like it goes to scriptures. Then you have the white woolly beard, white woolly hair, white woolly beard, the red eyes. That's when you go by the scriptures, you go completely different scriptures. But then that's what everyone sees it, and then they're like, oh. And then even with what's his name as well? Like he's going by the same thing. It's like he's obviously dark skin, but then it's going by the image that's been presented by that tied to that celebrated Lord, that so-called Jesus Christ image. But then what? That's irrefutable. But again, that's something that since the brothers come out, since the words come out, then that's been destroyed. Because that truth has come out to where it's like you ask people, it's like, oh, what's Jesus Christ like? They're like, well, he's not white. That's the kind of default now. They'll say, oh, he's olive skin.
You like you have these like documentaries on like they're doing documentaries on like ancient Jerusalem or something, and they always try that Aryan kind of look.
Yeah.
The actors and stuff. Man.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the only alternative.
Yeah.
But then you check the comment section now, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everyone's saying, no, Jesus was a so-called black man. You know? Where's that coming from? Yeah. Ever since, you've been on the streets that was like, oh, man. The truth has got out. People have woken up to the fact that, yo, man, his name ain't Jesus, and he ain't a so-called black man. But our whole Cesare was their thing. That was a power plot. You know, that we're the standard of beauty, we're the standard of power and excellence. So if your God can do that, then why would you not follow up?
And it was set over these nations as well, especially if you go to South America, the Northern Kingdom, they've been completely broken by that. Them men have the Caesar on the Mount, man. That guy just out there with his arms out, just destroying them. You know, meanwhile the favelas beneath there, these guys are 11 years old, murdering each other. But then, you know, that's really what all it has to offer. Death and destruction. There's a bit more Revelation.
Book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Yeah, you know, basically just left it as is. They watched. And then what as well?
It says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
Yeah, that's it. These guys, you know, all these different nations, they celebrate, they make merry. That's why you go into the scriptures, you go into through the Old Testament, and the relationships between Israel and these different nations were nothing but contentious. All these different nations, they basically sat down, they understood, like, yo, they didn't want Jake to have power over them. And they will do everything in their power. There's, what is it, in Judith 5, I believe, where you have like the sons of Ammon, or it's either the sons of Moab asking the sons of Ammon, like, yo, how can we take these guys down? They said, well, when they're with their power, then there's no, you can't even try and do anything to them. But then what? As soon as they break those laws, then it's like, bang, take them down. And that's the thing. It's with how this world has been set up. It's to keep Jason that destroyed state. When you look at this whole, where did this black culture thing even come from? That thing is completely brand new. You had the post-slavery kind of culture with Jason, but then really from the 80s with like with cracker, you know, then you have this whole new black culture, which is on complete ignorance, complete self-destruction. And that's something that's like, it's self-maintaining, and it's incentivized with money as well. What's everyone thinking about? Getting a record deal, entertainment deal. And now the new one is getting TikTok famous, Instagram famous, YouTube famous. And then a big part of that is what? Is being a clown, being a minstrel. It's like the modern day you look at a lot of these young people online, on social media, trying to be entertainers. There's no kind of class or anything to it. They're just like dancing monkeys. And then because there's money attached to it, they're just looking at, well, it's a plus. But then that's all in the mindset of this current world.
It says verse 11, Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
God, great fear fell upon them and saw them. Because why? They're being back in that spirit, back in the mindset of knowing who they are. Then they, like Jacob achieved all that they achieved. You can just go back into like into the book of Joshua, into the book of Judges. It's like military conquest wise, capabilities wise, when Israel's in their right mind, there's no one who can even test them. You go to King Solomon as well. Then you see when the Most High gives you wisdom, that's something where it's like all the nations round about had to marvel and just be like, yo, this guy's on another level. And these are the things that these nations are in fear of. Because why? Imagine, like it's you would think, you know, being a Jake, being a social black or whatever, then it's something of a very little God in the world. Yet so many everyone always goes like sports and entertainment, but then even in government positions, in military positions, in all kinds of other aspects, then you still have Jake excelling. You know, why is it people are so worried? Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe
thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. That's what we're saying, man. Like, when we're connected to our power and we're, doing what's required of us, man, nothing but prosperity and good success comes our way. As we're getting into, man, there's been cases in history like King Solomon, wisdom, Joshua, Moses. There's been cases whereby when we follow this, man, like this is proven. It's proven, man, that when we connect to our Heavenly Father through His Son, follow the scriptures, man, we're on something, and that's what we're saying. That's what we're scared of. In Revelation 11, it says, and after 3 days, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Yeah, their enemies beheld them. It ties up with Psalm 5 as well. With all these different nations feeling that fear, and then as well, it's really because they know it's the mindset that Jake's going back to, and the capability that Jake's going back to. They know there's more potential, and then that really is why you have so much lies, so much confusion pushed out in the world, because that's how Esau is allowed to keep his place at the top. Because with all these other nations, Brother mentioned as well, but even with beauty standards, all these other nations are chasing after Esau's beauty standards. But then you consider it, it's like as far as with every other, why does every other nation on earth have melanin? He's really the one that's everyone's made the and then it's like, why is everyone else dark skin, melanin in their eyes, pigmentation in their hair as well? Because why? That's just how things are. But then everything's been flipped on his head. And by flipping it on his head, that's how he's able to present himself as the one, exceptional. But then that's the thing, is once that all flips back, then that's why you get, Isaiah 14, where all these nations are going to narrowly look upon thee and say, what, is this the man? But read on this, just quote it as well. So Judah 5 and 2, it says, wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the sea coast. And he said unto them, tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the seas that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them, or captain of their army? And why have they determined not to come and meet me, more than all the inhabitants of the west? Then said Achior, the captain of the sons of Ammon. So, when you go to the ancient biblical maps, you'll see that Ammon and Moab, those are two of the neighbors of the Israelites. So they would have been seen how they functions. And basically, as well, even with like the Hebrews and Then said Achior, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, let my lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people, which dwelleth near thee, and inhabiteth the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. This people are descended of the Chaldeans, and they sojourned heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea. That's going back to Abraham. When he left the Chaldees, then it says, what? For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the power of heaven, the power whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into power commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned and go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt and were increased with gold and silver and with very much cattle. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went into Egypt and sojourned there while they were nourished. Now imagine, these guys know the full scope of history, and then as well, and then what's the key aspect of them knowing that is how to weaponize it against Jake. And then you thinking today, why is it we have the current black social blacks, where as far as their history goes back to, you're hitting slavery, and that's about it. Or you're back in Africa swinging on trees. That's all you can know. The reason why it's not general knowledge, knowing all your Israelites, or you go back to this, is because it can be used against them. They can basically keep stumbling blocks in front of Israel in general. And then they're going to be unaware of even the context. Imagine these heathen know in detail. So no matter how many councils or how we're going to attend, this was war council. It's like you're watching 300 or you're watching Troy. The man are in the tent, the leaders of the military are there. Their man's coming through with a full history and scope to then break down, okay, this is how we're going to defeat these guys. It says what, and then when the famine covered the land of Canaan, they went out down into Egypt, so while they were nourished, and became there a great multitude, so that one could not number their nation. Therefore, the king of Egypt rose up against them, and dealt sumptuously with them, and brought them all with laden brick, and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their power, and he smote all the land of Egypt with 400 days. So the Egyptians cast them out of their sight, and the power dragged the Red Sea before them, and brought them to Mount Sinai, and Kadesh Barnea, and cast forth all that dwelt in the wilderness. So they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and they destroyed by their strength all of them of Esabon, and passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. So they even know the different nations that they contended with and how they took them out. And this is the thing, it's like you go into Esau's history, for example, you're going to find the full list. It's like if you go into the history of the UK, of England, you're going to be able to go back, hundreds of thousands of years and be like, okay, so this is what the Romans set when the Romans were here, then the Anglo-Saxons came, then the Normans came, all these details, and then you wonder, why is it that when you go to Jake, they're just like, oh, you guys are just blacks. It's like you've got like a few of those post-slavery Jakes, or you got one or two, you got some Solomon Norfolk, or Martin Luther King. Then after that, it's just like, yeah, we don't know. They're just black. And that's why even the kingdoms that were established on the West Coast, they don't even talk about those. Those are something I didn't really hear about those until coming into the truth. I remember it's like I even went over to Ghana back in the world, and then we went to the forts where they were selling slaves from, and then we got the explanation of history. And all we were getting told was, yeah, you had this, you had the Portuguese up in here, you had the Belgians up in here, they set this up, they used to do these, like you getting the history of that, but then, okay, what comes before? You're not getting it. Why? That wisdom, that knowledge, it basically can walk and free you. And you shall know the truth shall make you free. Knowing that you're an Israelite alone, that's something to be like, yo, you can put so much together. But really, it's understanding the present. That's a big aspect of why, we're encountering so many difficulties present. The reason we're on the book, the reason we're the last side, first fight, the reason we have all these issues is tied back to the law, tied back to breaking the law. So it says, verse 16, and they passed forth before them the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Jebusite, the Shechemite, all the Girgashites, and they dwelt in the country many days. And whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the power that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not there. and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. So they know what it comes down to is sitting before our power, basically breaking the laws. And that's the thing is that's what we're telling Jake in modern day. But then a lot of Jake don't want to hear it. And that's something that goes back as well. You go back to the Greeks, you go back to the Medo-Persians, the Romans, all these empires, you always had Jakes that didn't want to get with the program. You always had Jakes where they had issues and contentions with following the law. But then that all feeds into why Jake can be taken over. And then now as well, why Jake is no longer going to sin again. Why Jake's not going to sin again. You go into Lamentations 4 and 21, then it says what? No more be taken into captivity. Because why? We're going to be perfected. We're going to have the laws in our inward parts so that we don't have the case with to even go off. And that's really what needs to happen.
Matthew 24 and 15, that when ye therefore shall see the abomination, desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. That was an example of like Jacob wanting to listen. You had those who read the prophecies, they listened to what Yahweh said. Being delivered, back in 70 AD, it wasn't a thing of chariots, it was a thing of obedience. Getting the prophecies and seeing, oh shit, it's happening right now, and then getting out of it. But then you had those who stayed in, and then they got fenced around.
Yeah.
And that was them.
They got decimated. They got done out. And that's the thing. Then that's basically that same back and forth with Israel, where they what? They didn't want to listen, and then that disobedience was punished. But now when the time was essentially that final punishment and that final disobedience, and then what? It's going to be the elect, 154,000, and the residue as well, that basically then going to be delivered, and then those that don't want to get down, those that don't want to respect, they're going to have to, experience death by pain, and then come back in the kingdom, man. Be brought back in the kingdom. Feeling that shame.
Ezekiel chapter 37, and I'll start from verse 1. And it says, the hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry.
Very dry. And that's, you look at Jake, nowadays, they're all kinds of dry, man. These are like Jacob into all forms of madness. They're basically, because of the time, because of the liberty that's been given to them by Esau's really giving them license to do any form of madness they desire. And they're fulfilling them. That's a big part of what we deal with this black culture. That's something that's they get wisdom, man. But then what? It's something that Jake really feed into. They really lusted to do that. Then in doing so, then it's what's to their own destruction. That's the thing. It's like the brother said. The word's gone out for the longest. The word's been out for decades at this point. But then what? A lot of Jake don't want to listen. They're gonna receive their reward, just as the elect are gonna receive their reward.
And that even really shows how the Most High is patient and long suffering. The fact that it's been out for such a long time, then you have people that, I met you guys a week ago. I met you guys 5 years ago. I met you guys, 10 years ago. remember when the videos came out in '07, '08. I saw the one on World Star Hip Hop. Oh, you guys believe that? That's the type of things that we saying. Then guess what? That's the Heavenly Father, that's Proverbs the first chapter. The Heavenly Father extending out his hand and basically, telling, yo, come in. So the moment when it goes down and the hand is retracted away from you, and the Lord laughs at all of the hardship that you endure, he's justified. Right? He's been vindicated. That's the vindication of the Most High. And guess what? In him getting that vindication, we also get that vindication. Because I watched one documentary talking about the chemical Drake shit. It's like a long ass documentary I watched it hard. But the guy was talking about what Drake said to Pencil. And again he said, oh, he could have said like this weird ass religion, this Hebrew Israelite, he could have put him an altar. And he was talking about, these Hebrews, they do this, so like paragraph video, all that type of stuff. And I was thinking, so you niggas know about it. You're very well aware of what's going on. But you just find it like some funny shit. Something to turn on and you say, look at them niggas, they're dumb. They're just some over-righteous shit.
I was saying before you got here as well, there was like a YouTube short I saw with like 10.2 million views where they were saying like, oh, these Hebrew Israelites are too much. And it was them like cursing some guy out because he was wearing a funky outfit. I didn't recognize the group. But I was thinking, I was like, like I was saying, they're just seeing it as like entertainment. That'll be what pops up. But then as soon as you start, teaching or bring out the scriptures or get into anything, then they're gonna be like, nah, that's boring. That's really, that's why they know of it, but then they're just thinking like, nah, that's whatever. They might watch something for some entertainment to pass some time, but they're not really giving it heed. And that's the same with when you had the 5,000 that were fed, I believe. And then it's what they basically they followed after Yahushua because they made the loaves fulfilled rather than because of what it was actually saying. That's that same spirit.
It says, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord power, thou knowest. Again, he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a great noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me,
Right, so basically, this is, an allegory, a dark saying, parable about the state of the right? There's various different precepts that come into it. One of the main ones being Revelation 11, where it speaks to the children of Israel being in a dead state, right? Revelation 11 and 8, written before the written before you. So basically, that's the state that we're presently in. That's why we have our subject to black culture, right? Black culture really is the amalgamation of Nicodemus and what was reflected in Babylon, right? So they want to mess with certain things, it's really coming from the gynecologist, the very feminine point of view, right? Where a woman is at the helm of it, and that goes to more the king of heaven, worship of the woman, right? That's really what black culture is about, right? So with that being said, we're in a dead state. He told you Proverbs 21 and 16, he that walketh by the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right? So you're basically a dead person. You're walking around, the lights are on and then, it looks like the lights are on. You're walking, feeling like you have judgment and you can interpret, things with your brain, but in reality, you really can't. right? You find the level of incompetence in this world is staggering. People just listen to to say their point rather than actually listen with some understanding and to input and adjust and do something. And that's what our culture is really about. Being a Hebrew Israelite, the son of the Heavenly Father, right, is about you having wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right, and where's that found? It's found in the Holy Bible, the good book, right? The commandments that the Heavenly Father gave us that bound us by the covenant that He set between us and Him, right? That's why right now people are we're in a fucked up state of being, because we're subject to the curses in the book of Deuteronomy 28, right? And that's talking about the valley of dry bones. The valley is a low place, right? What should come to mind? Psalm 23, sorry. Right? Go down. Shadow of death. Yeah, shadow of death. That's basically where we're at. Speaking about America. Right? This is where them curses have been, overtaking us and have a struggle over here. You got something? Okay. Yeah.
Psalm 23.
You can break it down.
Psalm 23 and 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What do shepherds do? They guide and look after the sheep. I was saying that it's like you had the autonomy of like a body, but no lightning.
Yeah.
Because really and truly, our people have lost the way of to follow. Because as we were saying earlier, they've been given they've been given Jesus Christ, they've been given these philosophies. And we're talking about like nigger culture. Like, where the hell did that come from? Really, nigger culture is a construct of humanity. Package that, shoot that your way, and live by that them standards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but as for us, man, the Lord Jehovah Hashem Shai is our shepherd, man. Meaning that we've got a standard to follow. We've been guided. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for His name's sake. There goes the name again. As you said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for Thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. What brother was saying, man, that valley of the shadow of death, predominantly speaking about the landmass of America, and the valley is like a lowland. And that's where you get the lowest of morals, the lowest of behavior, the most degradable stuff that be happening out here, man.
Yeah.
It starts with that American culture, man. And it says, Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Like we were saying earlier, these elites have done so much to hide who we are. They give them a bump for our Black History Month. You guys go as far as slaves, like you said, before that you were swimming on freaking Africa. But in the midst of the lies that they've spun to us, the Lord has prepared a table for us. That's right. And it says, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Jehovah Hashem Shai forever.
That's it. Lord is really done that. Right now, we can see before you is the table being prepared for our enemies. Right? This is why it's so funny. Because right now you have swarms of people coming up and saying, oh my God, you guys are prophets of the Heavenly Father. Get back to it. What do you need to do to stop the destruction of this world? They're none the wise. They don't look at us like, what's going here? What's wrong with it? Why one girl said that to me? Why is it in your life for you to be doing this? And she sent me a picture as well. It's like, oh, you look past the camp. And you took a picture. Yeah. Like, that's how much you kind of just, my mind was, confused what I was on. It's night and day compared to the person I once was. So you trying to figure out how would you go from that to being this. But the reality is that the Heavenly Father blesses all of us, open our mind's eye to see the things to come. We see technically we're seeing the destruction of America, right? We think in pictures, right? We think in imagery, right? When you imagine something, it's derives from the word image. Your imaginations. When you read about the first thing, the Lord being a so-called, not being a so-called white, man, being black now, that's you imagine it. Wow, like you see it in the scriptures, right? It's broken down to you, and then it leads you to the destruction. Mark these different things of that nature. When you understand that, you can see how fucked up it's going to become. Like you have a video with the guy running with the hedge trimmer. Yeah, and trying to that's for your mind to run out of a fucking petrol station to move your car and grab that in an attempt to, harm and injure someone. Like that's some real yeah, like that's some dormant hatred. When the Heavenly Father stirring up the spirits of the people. Because it tells you in the book of Matthew, it says, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing it progressively wax. It was worse. Right? Because the Heavenly Father is wearing down the spirits of the people. Starting with a big shift in that with the whole C-19. Right? When people got locked up in their houses 2 years more than straight. Right? And the world changed. There was now there was a sense of urgency. Why am I running to the life?
And in a lot of they said with that there was like that's where you got a huge spike in people with like mental issues.
Yeah,
All that mental health went out the window, and then you kind of see that reflected in social media, to where everything's kind of just hit a new peak. Because it was after that people were out there licking toilet seats, going into shops, licking the ice cream, putting it back, doing all kinds of degenerate things, doing all kinds of madness. And that's becomes, it's hit the point where those things are normal now. People going out and doing outlandish things just for attention, that's become a standard. And that's the gradual shift as well, where things that at one point seemed like extreme or kind of out of pocket, now just hit a norm. And then everyone just kind of accepted it, so where's the next thing? Because even with, it's the same with like 2020, with all the riots that happened, so I was watching a few videos of it, I was like, it's fucking wild still. But there was a clip guy with like a bow and arrow, and this guy's just driving around, I'm like, bro, you just go out with a bow and arrow, there's like 50 people around, then he's like, I'm gonna take one of them, and he ends up getting them up. And I was like, that was going on for like weeks. And it's kind of similar with what happened over here, where it started, and then it kind of seemed like it would slow down. Well, you would think it would kind of hit a peak and slow down.
but these guys ain't doing jobs.
Yeah. It's summer, the weather's nice, they got nothing to do, and yeah, it's summertime. So it's kept up, and then it's hit kind of normalcy as well. But then with that as well, just like with during C-19, laws get passed, legislation gets passed, it's going to be the same thing here. Because there already been guys thrown in jail, and then took to the arrested. Yeah. So that's why, and the thing is all of these guys, like you go on social media, their whole face is there whilst they're doing these things. So it's like they've got like them guys are just, they might plead not guilty, but they're done.
Not really. Because I was thinking about that because like, I work in one of them environments where it's like the good old glory, the good old boys and that. Them lot, they know amongst each other that, listen, fuck all these guys. Whatever you need, if I hear you did some fucked up shit, I'm fucking alright. So it's like, certain people be galvanized and stuff. Yeah, make them lose their job. Yeah, the company might say something like that.
I don't even mean like, I mean just legally, like as far as getting sentenced. Because like what you're saying is correct.
Even what
like them losing their job, I don't like that for like a lot of these people.
But they say they arrested 700 people, 300 cars. I mean 400 people at least. They was just, whatever the situation was, arresting them, cooling them down. Don't worry. Won't see nothing about it. It's making it wrong. As far as the true meaning of what's happened, it's for them to progress in the agenda. That's wrong.
force and appease the wrath of him that made me.
Those sore strokes, man. And that's really that destruction, being in all this chaos, these things that's all in the midst, their spirits are basically what people. That's why it's like some of these people might have just been like, they might have gone out and just thought, I'm just gonna go buy a beer. Then next thing you know, he's smashing some shit up. That guy just had a spirit bottle. And that's the thing, it's like even with I kind of went over here, it was like it was a push one way, then there was a back and forth between it. And then really it's kind of been a lot of it is like on social media saying, oh, the way they're policing this is showing favoritism to one side or to the other, which then, like the brother said, just makes me think legislation. They're going to legislate like, oh, if someone's doing X, Y, Z, we've got the powers to do this. And that's kind of where all these things are looking to go. Which was Solomon 5:1 said, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. The Bible will go back to the
Ezekiel 37 and verse 9 now. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slaves that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and they stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
That's it, now it's been broken down. All these bones are the house of Israel, right? Dry bones, they're the children of Israel, right?
Behold, they say our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our gods. Therefore, prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O my people, I will open your graves, and cause you to come up out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Israel.
Now that's going into it. How I mentioned Proverbs 21 and 16 about going out of the way of wisdom, going out of the way of wisdom, understanding. The Father said he's going to open our graves, right? He's going to take us out of that dead state and rise us up. It's going to be done by the people who prophesy. Right, every shows you the power of what we're doing. This isn't, this is spiritual. Okay? This isn't something where, okay, I give you 100,000 and your life changes. Now you live in it, you get the ball rolling, you get certain things, and if you see 6 months later, all that brother is a multi-millionaire. No, we're doing multi-millionaire in the spirit of Yahweh, Bar Shem Yahushai, Bar Shem Arapah. We're doing it in the spirit of, we are instruments to make our vessels pass on the spirit of life to the children of Israel, for them to come to life and be one awake again with their Heavenly Father. That's the job, right? And don't look great to the naked eye, right? But to the spiritual eye, they really understand that. Oh, we're waking up to who we are. That's why I see with these things, the riots and all that. That's how many videos kind of annoying me when I see people, you racist don't understand that. I see guys doing freestyles and saying how, you don't see it. I think, bro, you don't get it. You are hard, you're hard. Your head is hard at understanding the idea of there's a difference. They'll never like it. They never have, they never will. Right? That's just how it is. And you can't get your head around that. Right? And things like this, the momentum's up. Once it kind of dies down again, you'll feel like, yeah, you told me. Then it pops up again. Oh, big 2028, this shit's still happening. It happened back then. When did you solve it back then? No. They showed you how they felt. You spoke real hard and tried to say, listen, we're equal the same. Right? You don't see it's the same as you should. And then it died down. They didn't say, oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. They just didn't answer. and they came out against us and they tried to kill us. Oh, this is all of that stuff. That's how we're seeing it. You can't see that. We can see that. But that's a spiritual. How are you gonna get that breath that we're breathing unless the Heavenly Father thank you?
But they're caught up in that. That's the thing, it's like from the 60s, it's part of that black culture anyway. That was kind of part of the whole Martin Luther King, the come, we just all get along spirit, the little black boys and little black girls running around playing together. Like that whole spirit was what? It's like you mentioned, oh no, what you, like fighting for equality. That's something that, like, imagine the Olympics are going on. The whole foundation of the Olympics is proving who's not unequal with someone else. You have a quarter Italian system of who's the best, who's slightly less good, all the way down to the worst.
Just to jump in on that. That's the thing. They see Jake dominates right? That's like one thing. God, all that lecturing, and then the smoke balls, and I was going to get to that. That's the thing. You'll see them run the process. You'll see them in the track, everybody doing their little doing a little introduction. Yeah, my guy's gonna win. That's like, I remember growing up watching that type of stuff. That's one of the people, 100 meters, you have to move it far, maybe 400 meters is also interesting. And the relay, and the relay, of course. Men jumping. That's the only sport where I say women's sport I kind of want to fuck. Like I was fucked up with Shelly at Pride Fraser. She didn't get to run. But I think I wanted to see her. That high she gets far off. Yeah. And I'm kind of like, I see what they're doing, but Benjamin's got that. I think Benjamin do their thing. You know what I mean? Even like it's used that one of their little nail things, like like one of you have to box one of they come through, take him out on 200 meters. His form was nice. I see him rocks it. Yeah, this guy got his full down pat. But you get but then Jacob, there's no way he saw circumvent that Jacob. Now things like gymnastics all miles, but then there's certain stuff like rowing. Rowing's attached to aristocracy. So you need money to get involved with swimming, tennis, certain sports. That's how they,
Imagine Serena still.
but then it's the point that shows equality, inequality. So then whether it be skill or by the pocket, that's going to be on display. So, this whole equality shit, people don't reach, there's nothing equal to God. Everyone's going to be sick.
Well, that's the reality as well. It's like in no fashion, like can you even have a it's like people can be born in the same country, they can be born in the same ward and have two completely different lives. You can have twins, and that's the thing they've done. They've done studies on twins where they'll have them like kind of track them from birth up to like 30, 40 years old. And differences, you're still gonna have differences. You're not just gonna get two the same person.
And I don't understand this one of these niggas coming from the kingdom saying, but we're equal, man. Hell, saying that about equal, man.
But that's how the elites are looking. That's how, honestly, it's like the way, that's the thing as well. They've succeeded in destroying Jake. The way the majority of Jake go on. Like, bro, I don't want to be around these guys. And I know they're Israelites. Like, I don't want to interact with these guys. But then it's like, imagine these guys are upping parcels, like, rubbing shoulders with people on a completely different lifestyle and spectrum. And then they're just seeing like some peasant as far as they're concerned, saying we're equal. That's why in the King of Grove, I don't want to feel the wind of your breath in my vicinity, man.
I've been around them, getting to the scripture, been around them higher ranks than Edomite, man. I don't want to be around them. Caviar, wild occupation. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be around you niggas too bad. I want to be around my own.
Ezekiel 37 and verse 13. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Jehovah Hashem Yahushai, when I have opened the graves of my people and brought you up out of your graves.
Right, pull you up out of your graves. Go ahead, bro.
And shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I, the Lord Jehovah Hashem Yahushai, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord.
Right. So the Heavenly Father unleashed the Spirit as well. Really, when you deal with it, it goes back to Yahushai. Yahushai, well, John the Baptist came and, made the way for the Lord to come. The Lord came and he basically made the way for the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is now, starting with the gospel. Back then, he came to the world, and there was a time where faith disappeared. We were put into a grave that couldn't be fucking imagined. Right? The fact that being Israelites is just so no one knows that Israel exists. And what happened? The Heavenly Father now opened up and started Habakkuk the same way it did 2,000 years ago to come back in around again. Right? Habakkuk opened, put the spirit forth, and then sent them waking up to grow. Right? So now we're being seen by the elites of this world. And they're the ones that really understand they understand the severity of these circumstances. They know that shit, when this happened last time, this is when the kingdom was done. Anytime these prophets start coming forward, that's a sign of the end. Go ahead. Yeah. Anything you want to think, just jump in at any time. Feel comfortable.
Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. Yeah, that's the basis as well of how Jacob really treated us. Because we're going into it before, how more or less the way everything's been set up, these beliefs, these informations know that keeping Jacob in that destroyed state is in their best interest. They know the full history of how Jacob got where they are. They meticulously record those things, and then like I read it in Judith, they know that it's like, if they're not following their power, you can keep them on the bottom. Which is why it's like as soon as, and that's the thing, for like the brother mentioned, the average Joe seeing us, they don't know it doesn't compute. They're just like, well, they're the quads, but I don't know why they're out there. But then as far as the elite, they see it, they go, oh damn, that's a warning sign. Like that's a code yellow or whatever. That's DEFCON 3. They're thinking like, this is like, how are we gonna counteract this? And that's why they have like the guys that they'll pay off, they'll push guys out there to try and subvert certain things, But then with this work, it's Gamaliel said it. Like if this yeah, then it's up to normal. But if it's been established by how I'm doing your job, then what do? You can't come against it unless you be found to be fighting against Heavenly Father.
Acts 5:37. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many obeyed him, were dispersed. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel is worthy of men, it will come to naught. Everyone will say, this was of men, it would have been shut down. And again, you've got historical cases where so many black people, and if you get into the nitty-gritty, you'll find that Jews still but at face value, you've had people of the so-called black community that have tried to rise up and do a thing, and then Esau just snatched it out. Why Why is that? Because it wasn't of the Lord. It was of their own initiative. And it says, for if this counsel or this work of men will come to naught, but if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it. Lest haply ye be found even to fight against the Most High. That's the case, man. You know, if it's of the Most High, which this is of the Most High. You can't overthrow it, man. And what the brother was saying, that's why I thought that Rabbi Elder Billings, you know, and then before chain on down to our elder apostles, the elder bishops, the elders, you know, the brothers on down. From then till now, this has only been growing strong. You know, strength. But why? Because it's a council that's of the Most High.
It's gone from just being in America to it's gone global. Like literally, as the internet dispersed, then it's the word's gone out. And then imagine it's like the way smartphones popped up, and it's like the word is really it's just out there. And it's something that you can't even do something. And that's something with the internet in general. The internet is one of those things. It's like as soon as it kind of came out, it just loosed a bunch of information to where you like can't even like try and bring that information back.
Or what's that saying? They say like internet, or it's like it's just a general term. Like you can't win against the internet. Whatever.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you mean. I don't know
Like
what
if you want to fight, it's kind of like one rule.
yeah, the internet war. Someone will always know like a piece of information.
Not even like something. It's more like it's more of a possible like, because even if one girl she said something, I know the girl, but you know her. I don't know if you know her as much as I know her. From my end, when she was on one of these podcasts, she said something crazy, and then she was on Shade Bar, and everyone was ripping into her. I was like, my name. So I went to you see like 45 likes and everything. I know my girl as well. I know she ain't liking that right now. She had a profile public and then she said changing it around. And then she got one of them profiles where she wears designer, she's going on like one of them type of girls. So when I see that I said, because people are ripping into it and I say, the man thing is, half these people could never say, she's one of the road shows, isn't it? Half these girls could never say to her face, putting her hair back, taking her eyelashes out, Vaseline's coming on, earrings coming on, and she's swinging. But because it's the internet, it's a power you can't contain. It's just gonna overpower you and just make you like, rah, I can't even find this.
Quick one, since you mentioned the internet, yeah? Righteousness. This is in Psalms 19:1, and it says, the heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night sheweth knowledge.
Go into it, bro.
That's the net, man. The satellites and that, man. Once, like what we're saying, once it's out there, it's out there, man. And that's the thing. People that think they can take some download. Someone's screen recording that. So once it's on the internet, it's out there forever, man. And that shows the beauty of being in righteousness is that you said it started out there in America, but it's all over the world.
I got this, down into the internet. Romans 10:14. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of faith. For they have not all obeyed the gospel. But Isaiah saith, Lord, who has believed our report? Alright? And that's the thing, you right, it's really a rhetorical question because the elect are going to believe God. Right, that's really the point. Verse 17 and 18. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and it was unto the end of the world. So that's been done via the internet, right? Like I mentioned aforetime, and basically that shows a great level of mercy and long suffering by the Heavenly Father, and the fact that this thing is made circuits around around the world, by what certain people have seen. I remember the other day, I had a guy, okay, the guy I don't remember him. Brother spoke to so many people over the years that you can't even remember. They remember you made a substantial change in their life, right? But guess what? They heard it that much time, and after that, they may have, some conscious change in their life. Maybe not, right? Maybe they will, when the time is right, they have to come up with them into thing. Or no, right? And then the fact that they've heard it will condemn them in the spirit and mean that, great judgment will come upon them. But the point is, the internet has done the heavy lifting, right? It's put the word out there where it's gone, circles around the earth, all right? Let me read this as well. It goes as well into same thing, but also we read in the book of Acts, the 5th chapter. Romans 13:1. That every soul is subject to the higher power. There is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. Right? So the Heavenly Father is the grand power, grand master of everything that pertains to this earth. And if someone has the power, someone's in the power seat, someone has control over the earth, the Heavenly Father ordained them. Like right now, Job 9:24, giving the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? It's been given. The Heavenly Father, he has an old hymn you may have sung in primary school. He's got the whole world in his hands. He has the whole world in his hands, and he decides whether you're gonna have it or he's gonna have it, and he gives it to whoever he pleases. But he gives it to them with a genuine mind, a reasonable mind. So right now it's been given into the hands of the wicked. Why? Because as I told you, the book of Proverbs 16:1, right? That the wicked will pray for the day of evil. Right? They have to present this world that we're living in right now. They have to take the helm in order for the judgments, spirits that are being created for, to basically damage. So they can present it. Okay? So the point being, if you go against them, right? Even though it may be a righteous thing to do in the sense that these people are upholding, doing wickedness. They're allowing people to get this and get that. All right, that's cool. But then at the same time, the Father ain't nice. Right? So if you go against that, you're down against the Father. So you actually, in turn, even though you're fighting against the Most High, you're actually fighting against the Father. So read on to verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. Right? We have to do what is good. So what's quite funny about what's doing good is actually coming out here and condemning these people is good in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. So that's ordained, but that's part of the same way they've been ordained to present wickedness upon the earth. We've been ordained to present righteousness upon the earth. And guess what? The way the world is, it's lent itself whereby we can do it. Right? And as prophecy spoke,
given with intention, and even with that blessing was a certain way to operate with it.
right? For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause, pay ye tribute also. So pay your taxes. You say about, I'm glad I can, evade taxes. No. All right, you come into the system wherever you are and everything, but guess what? It's still subject to the powers that be. You have to perform your duties as a citizen to the Roman Empire. All right? Go ahead, bro.
And it's in Matthew chapter 22, and I'll start from verse 18 to verse 17. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahushua perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt ye hypocrites? Shew me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, whose is the image and the superscription? And they said unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto the Most High the things which are the Most High. As the elder brother was saying, man, don't try and think because you're, now the knowledge that you're a Hebrew Israelite, you start evading tax and, you don't want to get a job because you don't want to pay tax and all that crap, man. Yeah, you know what I mean, man?
We're robbing Esau.
No, we're here, so, we have to, even the scripture says that, man, obey them that have the rule over you, man. Just because we know of what's to come doesn't mean we're in that very moment right now. We're still subject to the higher powers. Even Yahushua acknowledged that, man. With Pilate was chatting crap. I can kill you. He said you would have no power over me except to be given above. So we're in the knowledge that these Edomites got the power over us because the Most High would have it so before now. So whilst that's the game right now, we just gotta go with it. Pay your taxes, work the job.
Yeah. But your power is that we can come out and stand with great boldness in the face of such as have inflicted us. Right, this is our power. Right now we're in our power. Where two or three are gathered in the name, there I am in the midst. This is where our power is at. Right, so let me keep up. It says verse 5, wherefore you must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay you tribute also, for they are the Most High ministers, attending continually upon his very faith. Render therefore to all their due, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fair to whom fair, honor to whom honor. Owe no man anything, but to none another. So he that loveth another have to do with the Lord. So that's how we the golden rule as we go. Right? Love the Most High, love your brothers, and love your son. Right? Ultimately, our power is in doing what? Right? We've been subject to this man. Right? Yes, he has power over us. Yes. Hopefully, the head of the party allows us. So, he's not telling us what works. What works is coming out there and being consistent in the spirit. Right? Even if it is cursing out Esau and saying, yo, this man's a devil, a demon, right? And letting it be known. But guess what? That's part of the program. As long as you stay, you can come out here and say, yeah, you're a red because you got no melanin. That's why you get sunburn. It may sound offensive, but guess what? It's the truth. It's in the Bible. We can break those things down and show you. Someone made it. I've been in court. Had a court case where I didn't, guy was a homosexual. But he basically said I said some things about him as far as his sexuality. And guess what happened? What happened was I got off. Right? And even when they said, yeah, what you got to say? I said, I was trying to bring it. I go out on the street and I'm about, showing the godly way of living, how to be in a homosexual. Right? And bring it around things like every time. You know what? The judge was a homo. So I'm cutting him. He's there getting but guess what? I got off. You know what I mean? So that shows you that, that's in the Bible. And I brought some statistics. I brought up statistics when I said it. I said, whatever. I'm not saying it as a derogatory way. And even though I wasn't saying it like, judge. I wasn't there like that. I was, I'm playing the game. Thinking highly of the judge and all that kind of stuff. But guess what? I was kind of. But guess what? I told me I go off. So I showed you. The Heavenly Father, he ain't a terrorist. He what?
You see people that put all of those statistics on their documents. They're all documents, so you can't go and see what the doctors say. They put it out there.
Yeah.
When monkeypox came out, that was the whole. They said, yeah, this is centralized on that particular community. The multitude. Why? That's the reality. That's the thing is when. But then the flip side of that as well, he so tries to utilize that against Jake. When it was the pandemic, they were saying, oh, it's particularly prevalent amongst blacks, these people. These guys should be the first ones to jump on, get the jump shot. So he's so
Wrong guy. Wrong. He's trying to be smart, but
But that's Esau uses those,
we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Sometimes.
I got Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And yeah, that's the other aspect is how we're going to be saved out of this. It's something beyond what people can expect. But really, all aspects of this word are beyond like what the Quran kind of see. Because they see, like I was saying, we must be there on the street. On the street, when it's just prophesying, these guys people think like, why would there's no benefits? Or there's only a limit. It's like, why are you guys doing that? Why do you do? Oh, you can go speak this corner. They think we buy there just because, be more entertaining, more people tune in. But then it's like, is it more edifying? No, to go there and just, and have some guy yelling the same, 10 points. You already cut like 20 weeks ago. I'm still going on the same point. It's taking me points. But then that's why even us being saved is what so opposed when we wait peace, which are the chariots of Israel. That's something people can't think. It says, of course, what the chariots are accursed to go forth. That's really how people in the world are looking at it. They kind of see it, they're just like, ooh. When the Pentagon was coming out with a report saying, yeah, we've seen hella, we don't know what's going on. Then people are like, oh shit, then it's real. Then they're just like, oh damn, what we gonna do? But then what? It's a terror to the average Joe.
First Corinthians 14:26. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you have a psalm, have a doctrine, have a tongue, have a revelation, have an interpretation, that all things be done unto edifying.
Onto edification. And that's the thing, it's a big aspect of the word. A lot of people engage with it just for entertainment. And that's how a lot of what social media is. It's just entertainment. You'll have you might have documentaries, you have informative things, but most people are just engaging. They want to see a funny video. They want to see some people got beef, or this guy said something offensive and then blah blah. There was a back and forth. But then what? The reality of what we're doing is the edification.
Saying that most people won't be able to actually discern what they're doing. This was the natural man receiving not the things of the Spirit of the Most High. For they are foolishness unto him, and neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. They can't. Like brother was saying, basically, people are just, like I'm going to
the average fool. You know what I mean? Like, they see what we're doing, and it's like, and it goes way over their head. You know what I mean? So that's why, as we always say, dealing with our apostles, this thing is really for the elect. Because the elect, they're going to grasp what we're actually doing. You know what I mean? And, first it's going to be like a gradual build-up to things with the elect, but they're going to see the purpose of what we do. With the average folk, we're not going to get this. We're not going to see what's going on. You know? That's all I'm going to say.
Back in Wisdom Solomon, it says, verse 5 and 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Yeah, that's really the state they're expecting to engage with Jacob. When that's the thing, it's like they talk to these people, and it's like they try to engage with them, like simply to like you're on a low level. But that's the thing, is basically what we've been given wisdom. We've been basically put above all these other people. They don't know what they're talking about. They're trying to come up and they're coming within the power structure of Esau. They're coming from what they view as wisdom as far as how Esau classifies it. But then that doesn't, all that is completely inferior to the scriptures. That's even in the what? Imagine Esau, you go back, every 20 years you go back in Esau, whatever they were talking about as some kind of prevalent thing, that's something they're going to find out, that didn't work any way you thought that worked. Actually was completely different. You go 20 years prior to that, it's going to be the same thing. 20 years prior to that, it's going to be the same thing. But then they're going to try and come against you like, oh, they've got some ultimate wisdom. But that's the reality. The truth is the truth.
It's Deuteronomy 28, 36 and 37. The Lord Yahweh shall bring thee, and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, where the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee.
Okay? They're looking at Jake, they're just thinking like, oh, this is just a nigga. Mindset. That's something you can see as well when you with all these riots that have been happening. You go online, it's like Twitter's a good resource to kind of see how people really feel. People will be on there with their workplace, their full face and face, just saying what they're saying with their full chest. And then that's like the Prophet was saying, you got Jake with out here, they're trying to still seek love from the heathen. But then they're making it plain, look, we're not a fan, we don't like you guys, we don't want you around. And that's the real, but then that's a dynamic that's been set up for the room between Jacob and Esau anyway. The whole point is that's how we're meant to be. Oil and water are not meant to mix. When you go into Wisdom of Solomon 2, it says what? He's clean contrary to our doings. Our way is grievous unto Esau, which is why he doesn't want to, mess with us. It's burdensome to him, same as he is to us.
I don't want to be a cooking mom, brother, like the scripture says, evil, good is set against evil. Esau has that spirit where he can't help but be evil. We have to, like, even though we're not doing the right thing, that's us. But the elect is going to do the right thing. So therefore, naturally, overall, you're gonna have that balance. You're gonna have that good and that evil. That's gonna be happening. So we're not supposed to get along. These jakes have been taught to believe under the system that we all gotta get along, and we all, like you've heard the same, we all bleed the same blood, all of that stuff, man. That's not reality. Reality is that we have two opposing forces.
Lamentations 1:18 and 19. The Lord Yahweh is righteous, for I have rebelled against him, his commandments. Hear, I pray you, all people, not all people, but the children of Israel, all people about me. And behold my sorrow, my virgins and my young men are gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders gave up the ghosts in the city while they sought their meat to redeem their souls. So the point being is the lovers, man. These people that with you, you know, Israel was up at a certain point. So everyone knew regardless when what wrong was that. You know, it's like niggas today, man. If you got money in your on, you kind of got some motion, people gonna tell you kind words, gonna be with you because they're trying to get the crumbs that fall off the table. They want to get a little bit of what you got, guys, right? So they'll roll with you for a moment. But guess what? When you hit hard times or hard waters, they're not riding the course with you. They're jumping ship, and they're saying, "Let me look for safer waters, calmer seas." And that's what happened with Israel back then. The moment they went into captivity, that's when the woman, you know, Esau showed his horns, or they even showed their horns and their teeth. They basically showed them that, look, yo, fuck you, niggas, like, right? He never liked you, but this is, we were just, what's the word? He was just tolerating you for the moment. But now that you're going down, yeah, we'll be there to kick you. You know, it's like the guy that Jake was on Rush. You know, the little short Jake with a hat. And then if you watch the people doing stuff, it's like the moment you look eye contact with them, they down. But then they see you ain't looking.
When it was
And
on
then
the ground, then it was like,
and it was like standing around there moving. That's what. See, you niggas don't think, man. That's their nature on display. They're showing you who they are, man. This shit to me, like personally, just from life experience, I know from young. These little, I've been around. I grew up in one of them type of areas. So man will go up to man, go up and chat. Then they talk about, oh yeah, it's man to us now. We used to be rushed, you know, race wars like the blacks versus Asians and everyone. Just do it free fall. But these fucking Edomites, I was chatting to one, I thought I was so cool with, just left his yard. He's like, yeah, the black guys rushed. I was like, oh shit, the niggas, yeah? Is that what? So I knew from there, I said, alright, cool. I'm in your house or whatever. But I know how you're talking about, man. So I seen it all. And he's a man that, oh, you smell like cocoa bar. You smell so nice. Like, listen, man know the type of people. I know they'll be cool with you, everything. But let it get to that kind of temperature, they're showing their, you know, they're involved. They're not backing out and saying, nah. You know, if anything, what they will say to you, you're alright. Because in their mind, you're like, you're a passable palatable people. You're like someone, he's a dark one, but he's alright. He's dark. Alright. Yeah, I can tolerate it. He ain't gonna worry about it. He don't make me feel like, you know, yeah. That's it.
Quick one on that point. Sirach chapter 6 verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
yeah, that's the real trial, real test. When it's a time of trouble. And that's the thing, it's like, especially in the Western world, there's very like with America, Western Europe chiefly, there's very few times where it's that kind of intensity to even be tried. When you go to like Eastern Europe, Africa, different parts of Asia, you're gonna have more upheavals. Like now you got what is it? I think Sri Lanka had like a fucking, the government run out, was it Bangladesh? I think it was Bangladesh. Where they ran out the PM. So then so there you kind of get those wild scenarios, and there's like those videos of them guys up in the house eating the food, eating the drink, like just having a good time. So there's kind of been tried, but over here it's kind of been where the state of law and order has been maintained to a degree where people haven't been able to let loose. But then when you get into that situation, a good example is Ukraine. I remember Ukraine when they're in the videos, there was like the youths over there, they were trying to get out. Yeah, the Nigerians over there, they were trying to get out, but then they weren't even like, they were like, nah. They let a bunch of the white Ukrainians through. Then afterwards, Like they kind of let them through. And people saying like, oh, why are they being like this, blah blah blah. But then that's the real. They're in the midst of that conflict. They're all like, yo, fuck that. We're dealing with it like how we deal. Like that's where reality came about. That's going to be the same thing. It's like these jakes, a lot of them are in situations where it's not become that brilliant. As soon as it becomes that brill, then that so-called friendship, because like, oh, but me and Steve, no, he's like, me and him, we've been together since you're going to find out. And that's just like, you know, movies like The Purge. Gone. Now The Purge is beautiful for that, because it's like they move in, they're all nice, blah, 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 and they're like, yeah, we'll just do it. So we're waiting to come up here to take you guys out. We couldn't stand you guys.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't going out with a friend of mine. Like, simple. Like, you don't know now. You never know, man. Like, the amount of time, like, I get pissed off when I'm in the comments. All I know is, I'm thinking, like, you know what happened? Like, when they say, yeah, they'll be like, oh, you know, your wife, like, or listen, the slave masters had men with you. But I was man, like, if I slayed a man and I never liked him, and I'll be like, I don't even want to breed his daughter. I'll just have a look up to a bed and just go round and like, that's like a war mindset. Like, a lot of people can't understand that. That's how, when it's wartime, that's where people's mind goes to. That's it. Like, it's kill or be killed, and then it's like, everything moves down to a primitive, primary form of emotion, right?
Yeah, that was coming out in Ukraine, and that was coming out in Palestine as well. They were saying those Ellerich going down, because they were saying the Russians were raping up Ukrainian women, and then there was recently there was like riots over a bunch of Palestinian what you call it, prisoners getting raped up as well. Now that's the thing is the reality is that comes out. We live it. The thing with what Esau's tried to do in modern times is pretend all of those ancient instincts have now been like baked out of people.
Where he deceived you.
Yeah.
Because that's his job. He's deceiver. And a lot of people would have fell for his deception. But again, like we said, you know, 2 Corinthians 11:2, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. We are more than aware of the shit that Satan put in. We see like, if you really want to, that's why I think every time I see this shit, I think, it's hard. Like, you don't see it, man. And you really ain't gonna see it. You're gonna be there, and then you're gonna get a gunshot to the heart, or a stab in the heart, stab in the back, you know, slit throat, whatever it may be. And then you're gonna be looking at, Steve, why?
Shows you that as well. You mentioned Virgin, the other one, Eagle behind him. He was trying to seek refuge at his mate's house. And the guy came up with a gun. He was like, don't take one more step. And he was like, it's me. That is me spirit ain't gonna work in that thing.
You should know. Like it's a whole different. But you know what? And this goes back to what I said earlier about when we heard these words, we saw it. We've seen the destruction. But everything we're saying, everything we speak, we believe it. So when we read about it, our minds are open, able to see, oh, this shit's coming. Yeah, I can see how they make everyone take that shit. I can see how they can make everyone, you know, fight, you know, friend and check. I can see this shit. So when we're hearing about different things happening now, we're just thinking, hey, that's it. It's gonna happen. That was part, you know, like, there ain't gonna be, like, I ain't gonna be sitting there thinking, yeah, he's one of my brethren I could rely on. There's certain, obviously, man I've felt, they have friends, you know, friends of the prophets or whatnot, that make certain things. But I'm just looking forward to, I know, I ain't gonna get able to go to my next door neighbor. I just know, saying hi, you know, like conversation with them. Yeah, let me hold up in your house. I wanna always be able to do that.
People chopping up dead bodies.
Yeah, let me see what fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, fucking, you know, fucking acid win, man.
Habakkuk 2 and 7, right?
In the prosperity of a man's enemy will be like it. Verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted. Oh no, it's Sirach 12, in verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst right to look glass. Because brothers were saying earlier before is that like you can have your friends in the world, you work with something like that, those devils, maybe you and cheap because everything's cool, the economy is right, but let the economy go collapse like it's gonna collapse, and everybody's gonna, go back to their primitive state. Everybody's gonna go back to their own primitive state. They're gonna be looking at you like you're an outsider when on health insurance. You know what I mean? So, the enemy is gonna basically expose himself.
That's on a low level, right? Driving a car, parking on the road, it's fucking London. You got neighbors getting it in because someone else took the side parking space. Knowing full well that both of you are gonna pull off tomorrow morning and come back for round 2. But that just shows you that hostility, that spirit of hostility, that fake, you're alright. Their brother was saying, man, just because you come out of your house and say hello to your neighbor, that don't mean fuck me. At the end of the day, we're talking about that vision, right? This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Yeah, vision as well. That's the thing. Is as far as for us, we're living within a mindset of these things are gonna come to pass. That's really why it's like having that ruling class mentality, having that raw mentality. Essentially, where you're expecting, you're kind of really like surprised when something wild doesn't happen. That's really the norm. Because that's the thing. It's like even when these riots go tough, people are like, oh, they're like, damn. Because that's the new thing now. But then that's the thing, it's like as soon as it tapers down, people are then just going to be back to, business as usual. They're going to think your life's fine. They're going to be enjoying the rest of their summer. And then that's the thing, is when the next thing hits, you'll be in shock. But that's the thing, it's like, for us, it's all, we know it's going to get worse. And that's the thing that really most people can't get through their mind. They think there's there's people like they're now trying to be in the spirit of 2017, 2018. They're thinking like, oh, I can get that back. Little do they know, the economy's through.
You can't even get the spirit before 2007 back. So how are you trying to get the spirit of 2017, 2016? I know you got the beat where it's like, the J woman stepping into the next every year, stepping into the next year. Like she'll be stepping into 20. They stopped doing that after COVID hit. They're stepping back to 2019. I need to bring that back. Like the world, those kind of memes and that type of stuff people used to do at the end of the year, the fireworks down the road, New Year on to new things, new year, new me. 2020, New Year, new me, 2020 vision. Like the 2020 vision never saw that coming. You didn't see what, and really it was a spillover from something that happened from October.
Yeah.
So it's been in motion. Because remember, all brothers were kind of keeping an eye on it. By the time the lockdown comes, it's like,
They were already doing madness in China. That was when they were like grabbing people up, lashing them in hotels. You had the warlord man, them that weren't letting man into certain towns. And then it's like that was happening. People are like, oh, crazy. Like,
but that shows you we had the vision. We had this, because we saw these things and we were like, well, it might be the thing. And it really kind of proved. Let me read this contrast that we read. Proverbs 29 and 18. But where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Alright? So basically, when there's no vision, and we have the example of Saul. Saul had no vision. What did he do? Really should have been patient, should have took it slowly. Went slowly and he said, I'll wait for the Lord. All I can do is go by what's set in front of me. I have these men here, I just know I have to get to these things and just lay low. But wait, he lost his mind. He said, no, I'm gonna go to the Witcher Endor. Creep down there with a fucking mantle one. You know the hooded, you know them big hooded mantle you can't see. Then when she started doing her thing, she saw it full. The same man that said forth the decree where all witches should be put to death. She couldn't believe that he come to like, bro, why are you coming to me for this? And then she only bear witness to the reason why that was said anyway. Because Samuel judged him and said, look, this time cannot you be with me in the spiritual realm. But that shows you that was a great example where there's no vision, the people fell. Alright? So, but we spoke to in the latter part of the verse.
And if I may add too, brother, right, just based on what you just said.
Let me finish up and then you can say your question. So like I said, like it goes to true to what he was saying, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. And that goes back to the point of if Saul would have really just been like, you know what, let me get into, to the vision or the seers of the stuff before me, I would have been fine. Alright? And that's why we need to know the vision is for the point, and that even goes into as well. The vision's for the point in time. You just have to be patient, man. Certain things you see, like we know the main prophecies are World War III, the sea hit, and the Lord's return. Now, those things didn't come yesterday, they come the day before, a couple months ago, a couple years ago. But guess what? We're still here. We know it's going to happen. We just don't know when. Right? So, though it's time to wait for it first, shall surely come to pass. Right? That vision we have. Right? We have to hold on to it daily.
Yeah, it's not about that too. Yeah, because you're saying it's a very point in the scripture which is in my mind, where it reads, not one of these shall fail.
Yeah.
So, the visions of the scriptures, everything is written there for a reason. It's primarily for us to serve as a prophet. Everything's well presented for us to learn. And all we need is men to open our minds to perceive these things and hold these things there. So when these things happen, we won't get so bugged out about it. You know what I mean? And we'll look forward to it, like you were saying. So when these things come to pass, like I was saying before, like I said,
Second Ezra chapter 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I have put in my mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Yeah.
So the brother was saying, man, that's pretty much it, man. That vision. The Lord gave his men the eyesight to see. Because one thing having the book, he said, cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Because the Lord was with the compilation of the scriptures, and preserved it. But then the next level is the understanding, which is what nobody had. Now you can go to chapter, Revelation, the 5th chapter. There was none found worthy to open the seal. But from Yahweh Shai on down, there was the sacrifice and stuff, and the order on down, and the Lord allowed that knowledge to be released to him. And in its correct time and season, it's been preached on the earth.
Daniel 12 said, we shut the book, seal it until the time of the end. And that's a significance as well, being the time of the end. That's the thing, it's all going around this matter of time. And even with those sort of things, that's also a matter of time. Go back, it's about 700-800 years ago. That wasn't the time for the market. at the time, people were thinking like, yo, this might end the world. They might think like this will make war never happen ever again.
And it was really due to the level of firepower that was introduced to warfare and the lack of trauma, especially if they were injured. So you know, if people were shell shocked, like that was just a whole different form of war. They just never really understood. And the effects that echoed after that just spoke to how great it was. But imagine that was the first of a trilogy. You were gonna say something.
Say that, adding on to your point, Creation 9, that's why Apostle John of Love said that the flames were like scorpions, you know?
Yeah.
They're stinging their tail, their mouth, right? Because, like, again, things have to happen in their time. He didn't know about no airplanes back then, but he was seeing, you know?
It's like guns as well, tail, which goes in. That's exactly. Locusts for the planes. That's the thing. It's same with the nukes. Because imagine how World War II. You watch Oppenheimer, then you perfectly understand like, okay, you know, the level of firepower and the significance of it within the bounds of like how war had been before and after. But then you go to the scriptures and it's like, what the heavens you roll together as a scroll. You're not going to be able to put that to get the fullness of understanding of that until particular times. And that's how it is with prophecy, even like the internet as well. Even with you know, World War III, with the EU, NATO, those agreements, these things you can't even get the full understanding until you know, within certain bounds. But then it's what now at the time when these things have been interpreted. And then what is by seeing these things be fulfilled. Because imagine, it's a good example is Michael Senior. That's something that's been spoken of. But then what we've had trials begin with like Neuralink this year, but then other companies like prior years as well. And that was something you go back like 10 years, people are like, no, that'll never happen. And that's always what happened during C19. That was the era of no, that'll never happen. Into 6 months, 3 months, 6 months later, they're doing exactly that. They'll say you'll never need to have to, you know, prove that you've got this to go into restaurants. Then they'll do it. They're like, no, we'll never make this mandatory. Then they make it mandatory. You'll never lose your job. Then you lose your job. So that already really shows you how quickly it's just kicking to gear.
Words were speaking at bottom, but they're not going to force you.
Yeah.
The funny thing is what did Jake say? He reached on to smooth things. They like, you know, and Esau says, you know, speak smooth things. That's what they want to hear. But that's why it's got your number. You know, I'll give you what you want. But guess what? You can hold this, you know, stamp in the back of the road. So we read this. So he says, 1 Thessalonians 5:1. Of the times and of the season, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. But yourselves know personally that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then such destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman child, and they shall not escape.
Yeah, these people were, I remember the start of the pandemic when it kicked off. Bro, you were going in Tesco, bro, there was no hope of getting any pasta or rice or any of the fried goods. You go in there, the whole thing was empty. Like you would see that like 2 people coming down, just like taking up the last thing. One tin, bro, tin, you know, you couldn't get none of that food, the tin fish. You start out with preserved food. It was lost. People were there like fishing, shopping, like it was the end of the world. That's the thing, it's like people have done everything in their power to forget those times.
And even when you deal with 78 if you look up to the leader of Jerusalem and Judea, there was many, if you look up the secular Israelites, there was many revolts, rioting, right, that led up to 78, the event of 70 AD. So there would have been moments where people would have said, oh, this is it. But then it cooled off, carried on. But then when it happened again, only to the time when it really happened. So all these things that happen, they're key stones, you know, or key pivotal moments that are going to lead up toward the end. Right? They all have a rhyme and reason to the events unfolding.
They were saying with that 70 goes back to his early
7 years. So it's like these things happen in time, and then even like with Israel Palestine, the state of Israel Palestine, that's been a back and forth from the 60s. Like that's been like the when it first kicked off, it was like the British military was involved with like the occupation of it. But then after they passed off the leadership over, then it's just been an endless back and forth where it flares up and cools down. And that's the thing, it's like that was normalized. It just like this one hit a new level of heat where it became the global focus. So and that's the thing, it's like even seeing that, because it's one of those, I remember growing up, you would hear about on the news, you would see people protest, then everyone would forget about it. The next thing would happen. And that's kind of been like that, since 2020, that's really been what it's been. Because even now, it's like, who's really talking about Iran, where they blew up the what you call it, the leader of Hamas. Like people that ain't even been like as major news as it is. But then that's something where it's like when what's his name, Soleimani, when the general got like carpet. Soleimani, when that guy got carpet bombed, everyone was talking about it. I was like, oh shit. That's when everyone was making the memes about drafting and whatnot. But then it's like now it's not even that relevant.
When they probably get Isaiah 13, I think it's 13, shall be the chase road.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. And it shall be as the chase road, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land.
Yeah, so this thing's gonna happen real quick, right? Like the brother read before about Habakkuk, right? Though it tarry, wait for it. But the moment it goes, it's gonna be, the time, and this is the beauty of it. The Heavenly Father spread out time. So a lot of people, it seems like, it can never happen. But unbeknownst to them, these things are, things have been set into play away from their side. So if you're being mindful of it, like the brother mentioned with Hamas, the slaves, no one's talking about it. So they don't know that one step that's leading to that day of the Lord, they're not aware of it. They're not aware that's we're moving closer to it. Right? But then by the time it arrives, we're going to be like, how did this happen? But then you look back and it's like, if you got his knee spread off to check, brother's video channel out where he's dying through the events, you see like, bro, he's been speaking about this going back 10 odd years or whatever. And these things are progressively got worse and worse and worse. He's even updated you on certain points like, oh yeah, remember that thing happened there? It happened again. They're further along now. They said they were going to do this, but they did that. If you paid attention to it, you see, bro, this shit's happening, it's moving. But for the most part, people wait. Right? So that's why when it happens, it's really just going to go whoop. It's just going to take like a chase roll. If you've ever been in the wilderness, in the forest or anything, and you see the roll, running in the forest, and everything's there, just breaking them around, and then what? They're off. It's bringing away. It's swift. That's how this thing's going to be. It's going to be like that. Before you know it, we're in the midst of the Lord making a return on the earth.
Isaiah 9 and 5. Isaiah 9 and 5, for every battle with the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be burning in the fire.
Yeah. Because even with that burning of fuel of fire as well, it's when you're dealing with, because imagine even when World War One was on the scene, having like the flying machines, having artilleries, those things were seen as like hell on earth. But then imagine there was like what happened with the end of World War Two. You had the bombs dropped to where it was the level of destruction was wiped out 2 cities, and then Japan, which is like them man were committing suicide in their planes rather than surrender. Like them man were just, it was unconditional surrender. So that was a level of destruction to where they were just like, yo, like we're toast, we're done. But then what we're gonna see at the end of America is gonna be even beyond that. When you go to the imaginal one, that's an even greater level of destruction. And then something where it's like that's not being used in a conflict to where people have seen like the full-scale impacts of it. And then that's why people are like, yo, it could shred the atmosphere. They're talking about nuclear winter and whatnot. Levels of destruction where it's like, that's like, damn, people are going to be all kinds of fruit. And that's really how much of a shift it is. And that's why you really need to be like the brothers who make a vision, imagination. You really need to have in your mind of the extent of things to go to. Yeah? Because otherwise, it's most people, they're not really trying anything. They're doing everything in their power to not think about it. And it's ironic. Because like the brother mentioned, leave the world behind. You've had countless movies, TV shows and whatnot pushing out that entire vibration for the longest. It's like for the UK, was it children, well, 28 days later came out forever ago as well. Children and Men. Yeah, that came out forever ago. You know what I said?
Watch that movie.
Yeah, because even with that, all the immigration stuff people are talking about, people. And I was like, yo, well, you guys have seen that movie now. But that's the thing. Something I already saw where it's like, what? The police run up and they're like, oh, passports. You know, it could easily push to that.
Well, that's the thing why I think they push it totally left. You know, why I think you basically say that's what they want. So, but that's gonna, snowball into the chip, the mark, right? So, these things that happen, whether we like it or not. But these movies that you're mentioning, they show these things happening, all right? And they really, if you understand how they operate with Hollywood, the Hollywood, their cast is stolen, those casts, let it be known onto what's going to happen in the future. But if you're wise, you'll be hip to it. You see these things and be like, wait, are they trying to tell us something? Like, leave the world behind. It had the thing with Teslas, all right? It had the thing with the phone, and different things like that. It showed a lot of the full event. A lot of people got hung up on the way the movie ended. The movie, it was more about the message as opposed to, the end was to me, on a creative level, I liked it. Because it really then, it posed a question to you like, okay, what is the end? It's meant to make you think like, what would be the end of that? That's not the end. That's the prequel right there. What do you think? With that shit, they're showing you a prequel as a normal day. Oh, let's just go to the action. Let's have some time off. Get an Airbnb, chilling out until the things that unfolded and them type of movies, they really trying to make you think. Alright, like how plausible is this situation? How much of a possibility is something like this? How much is it possible for something like this to happen? Right, and it's hugely possible. That's what the movie is trying to show you. Tesla didn't have the road. After that movie came out, there were about 10,000, Tesla.
They recorded some of them, and then the self-driving was not working for the longest as well. They said they had hella issues on that. And then there was like people putting videos together showing it doesn't recognize like people. But then I was going to say even the Windows 11, the huge crash that happened. I was like, imagine that. That was just off like 140 upgrade being pushed on like one particular and that was meant to be like a kind of what you call it, an antivirus program that was working where they were updating it to put further protection. But then I was going through a guy explaining it's like he fucked up one thing in like the update to where you have to then manually have someone go around to every individual PC and fix it. So it was like because it fucked up how the install went. It was like, and then that was just set on the PC. Like that's why there was literally there was a way to either someone had to manually bypass it, or you had to have the person go to see some stuff. And I was like, imagine that's like one simple thing on a simple thing. And then it was like planes, what do you call it? Planes weren't able to like fucking hospitals weren't working. But I was like, imagine like it's that widespread, and that's why imagine the thing is just like the true meaning of it is really lost on people on how the fullness of how that can impact us. But then it's wise, because they're not looking at things, they're just thinking like, oh wow, that was crazy. And then they saw clips of like people just there at work, but they was really work. So wow, they got a free day at work, that's so cool. But then they'll realize like
that's how people operate.
No, that's
yeah, I don't have to do them. Yeah, but then think about the people, for you to your day to operate, certain people need to be doing their job.
Yes.
So if they're not doing their job, you can't do like, then you're going somewhere like, oh, I can't use the train or yeah, the thing is that the job of the train. Oh, why is it something like that? So the guy ain't got no job today, he ain't got no work today. But they don't register how it affects everyone.
cascade effect.
Yeah, the cascade.
It just keeps going, it impacts everything.
Every ripple effect.
And that's the thing, it's because it was something where they could kind of circumvent it. Even though someone had to go manually, it's like they could then like deal with it in a decent amount of time. But then let it be a great issue, or the thing with let the world leave the world behind was it was multiple things at once. Because imagine you have that, but
And it was like it was a tactile, because G broke it down, how it was tactile. But he broke it down at the end after the thing happened with this guy. He said like, yo, this is a bit by bit breakdown. He said like, this is them taking away the powers of the system bit by bit. Like,
now with them, because yeah, that's the thing, it's all, as a brother said, piece by piece, piece by piece. And it's like, that's what people can't visualize. They can't think, what if you're in the midst of war? And then on top of that, they're like, oh, we're going to do a draft. And on top of that, you lose access to the internet and communication. And then on top of that, you also have all these systems shut down. On top of that, you can't get, you have to rely on a backup generator. Like the mains has gone down. And on top of that, you can't go out and get food. You've got a limited supply of petrol, whatever left. And all these things, it's when you combine them, that's when it gets fucked. And that's the thing that, like, when you go to, that's what it's like, you go to places where they become war zones, those things, it's all kinds of things. What happened in Palestine, when they started the invasion, they cut the electricity off, they cut the water. The average person is fucked. Then, whilst, imagine there's no electricity, no water, you might be like, okay, I've got X amount of charge on my phone. Then fucking bombs start dropping. Then you're like, yo, I can't even get in touch with thingy. Your phone dies. Then what? Then you're just fucking out of the sticks.
and I remember we're more reliant on our phones as well. We're gonna have to get the scriptures. We're gonna close out. We're speaking of the edification of the list. But most of the time, we don't have like the vital phone numbers that you have
Memorized.
You don't have them memorized. Or even like you might have, like when you used to play out with a kid. If you go knock to the resident square, they're not there, they're here. They're not here. There's like a plan.
Process of elimination.
That's the word I'm looking for. Process of elimination. Like, go here, if they're not here, they're here. They're not nowhere. No one, then I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But usually you're going to find them through that process. Today, do we have a process of elimination? We don't. It's like, if I call you, if I don't go through, I don't get through to you, that's it, yeah. Like, everyone's got their phone in it. But in that day, when this thing's happening, people just going to be like, bro, where can they be? They're not at the house, at work. It's like, I don't really know you like that. You should really know the person.
What happened with IT was that was a brief that was like a brief trial and error. to show that that very what happened. People were trying to go to a different country. They had to sit down. They couldn't get on. They couldn't get on the plane. And that was just like a little situation.
And even with this plane crash yesterday, who's to say that wasn't? I don't know the details, but it's stuck to mind. Who's to know? Say that is some kind of internet fraud or some kind of thing that happened.
Revelation 12 and 2, with that crash yesterday, because the speed, I remember I saw like the crash, I saw the first notification, it said there's been a crash. I was like, okay, so I was like, what's the extent of this? Then they said like, oh, we don't know how many people on the plane, so there's up to 63 people on the plane, so oh, none of them survived. I was like, God, I was like, yo, what even happened here? Because the way this is being reported, I was like, is that international plane? Was there some dignitaries on it? There could be something to it. But then that's the kind of speed of which things are happening. Where it's like, we just hear about something, it's like, we're talking about the Windows 11 thing, where that just impacted everyone their whole day. You've had multiple times, like dropouts of like different mobile phone networks where you used to lose access to the internet for X amount of hours of a day. And then people are just all kinds of fucked. Imagine that could be a day where you might have decided, I'm going to go on holiday somewhere, or I'm going to be overseas, I'm going to be in some particular situation where you're relying on that, then you don't have it, you're fucked. You could be out in the sticks, lost. You might have gone for a walk in the wilderness and been fucked. And that's the thing is, as we're in a time when these things are coming heavy and swift, it's like with these what do you call it, these riots, then it might seem to have calmed down, but then really it's a thing where it's like, I was seeing like screenshots of all these different like WhatsApp groups and whatnot, where Telegram groups where they're trying to organize, and then they're just like, people are in there and seeing where they're moving. They might have moved on to something else where it might just be like, okay, we're gonna go word of mouth and then just show up somewhere. Then you could have some fuckery go down off the back of that, and who knows? And that's the thing. It's all we're in that time where it's now. It's on top. Everything that happens is sharp, it's direct, and then people have to notice.
It's not far with the crashes. It's not far fetched. It could be a system shutdown. Even from like an aeronautical stance, when you check the video, that wasn't a crash of we've lost control. That was a system shutdown.
Okay.
The way it was spinning out of the air, like the hydraulics was gone 100%. No aircraft usually it's diving, like you've got velocity, speed, you've got direction. That was like some bottle flew up in the air to come down. We'll see what the black box thing says when they analyze it. Yeah, but more than likely that was like some hydraulic system failing.
It's funny because there was another crash that happened. I can't remember. It was one of the European countries. They said they had a crash as well recently, and they only found out yesterday. Was it yesterday? Maybe yesterday or the day before. That was a pilot error. So it's like, I was like, it's ironic that came out, and you have another crash. And then you also, it's like, you have incidents like this is going like, what is it, M8197 or whatever, the Malaysian Lions one, where they say they still don't know what the fuck happened here, where it probably got shot down. But then it's like, the thing with these things is it could be systems as well, impacting things. And then, like, you might not hear about these things until it's too late.
Isaiah chapter 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh Shai is his treasure. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. You know, we're talking about the systems and like basically, even like the IT outage the other day, he was highlighting that point. It shows how easy it is for Esau's system to be crashed. Like, he's a carnal man. He prides himself in like quantitative analysis. He's not a man of faith. He needs numbers, he needs data, And that's not to demonize numbers and data, but the point is, that's all he can trust. So when that goes wrong, he's
I
like,
you said that. Because some people be like, you know, you can't use, you know, you've got Hebrews out there. Like, you can't use, no, but the Lord uses numbers.
numbers, man.
Like the priests had numbers and
Numbers,
data.
yeah.
You know, they told the data was you got to do this, and these are the numbers. This day at this time, yeah.
You know,
But he just, like you said it right. He uses it for wickedness. That's all he's got. Like,
and like, to us, numbers and data is a tool, but trumping that is faith. Like, he ain't got faith. He ain't got the faith element. So that's all he's got to trust in. So when that element does go wrong, he ain't got no leg to stand on. You know?
if anything, he's gonna keep trying to make it work. It's like, oh, but the data says it's meant to work. Where in reality, you gotta have a, like you said, the spirit. The spirit will make you faith element, make you step by step. Maybe I'm trying to keep it going. You know, let's see what the Lord will do. You know?
I got one last precept. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten, the plagues and the punishment that the Most High shall bring. And you know, just like the brother was talking about, that you know, this world is eventually going to, you know, experience this end in many various ways. You're gonna have, you know, the family is gonna kick in. You know, you're gonna have all of the you know, the electricity which is gonna be altered. And therefore there's not gonna be no businesses. And you know, just to keep it more basic, which is always being planned, you're gonna have the economic collapse. There's gonna be, you know, a shock to all these banks and all these, you know, various things. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point we're getting down to. We're getting down to the point where it's not gonna be the whole of society. You know, but there's gonna be various different things in this place. And then you're gonna have evils between the people, like you have right now, which, you know, this situation could it be ongoing? Maybe. You know, but we'll have to wait